Imagine a scholar. He memorized 1 million hadith, amazed people with his knowledge, but was also envied. Music, his words were seen as dangerous for Thorilus. By the order of the caliph, he was chained and whipped for years, but he never stepped back. He did not stay silent against the oppressors, and sacrificed himself for the faith of the people. He was a friend of Allah, praying 308 QA every day. He was such a great scholar that even alayhissalam sent him greetings, and with this deep knowledge, he founded the Hanbali madhhab, but he earned his living as a Torah, lived poor and simple. Some called him the savior of the ummah, but he never trusted his own soul, and kept repenting all his life. He was the great teacher of famous hadith scholars like Bukhari, Abu Muslim, Abu Dar and Titi. Now you will watch his life full of struggle and faith. Music. You are on Religious Story TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. You can support us by liking and commenting on the video. If you are ready, let's begin. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal is the founder of the Hanbali madhhab, one of the 4 great madhabs of al-Sunnah. He showed Muslims a strong and clear path in the light of the Qur'an and hadith. Ahmad ibn Hanbal, one of the 4 great madhab imams, was a descendant of Ismail Ali. Ahmad ibn Hanbal was born in Baghdad in the year 780. At the age of just 15, he memorized the Qur'an. Later he studied Arabic and fiqh from Abu Yusuf. He placed learning hadith at the center of his life, and studied under many teachers in Baghdad to deepen his knowledge. Among his most important teachers was Imam Shafi. At the age of 19, Ahmad ibn Hanbal traveled first to Kufa and then to Basra to continue his hadith studies. On his way back from one of his journeys to Busra, a man who knew him saw him carrying many books and notes on his back, and was surprised. The man said, "You go to Kufa, then to Busra. How long will you keep doing this?" Ahmad ibn Hanbal smiled at his words and replete with ink and pen until the grave. The man was amazed by this answer, and kept looking at Ahmad ibn Hanbal with astonishment as he walked away. Later, with his love for knowledge and his desire to see the Kaaba, he performed Hajj 5 times, 2 times walking on hot sand, and 3 times riding a camel. On his first visit, Tuthka, he saw a man surrounded by many students in Masjid al-Haram. When he learned that it was Imam Shafi, he became excited and thought about what he could learn from him. Since Imam Shafi was always surrounded by a crowd, Ahmad waited patiently for him to be alone, then quickly approached to ask his questions. Imam Shafi was pleased to see his eagerness for knowledge at such a young age, and accepted him as a student, teaching him for a long time. After spending a long time together, Imam Shafi said about him, "I have not seen anyone in Baghdad more virtuous, pious, knowledgeable and learned than Ahmad ibn Hanbal." The turning of mountains and stones. One day while going on Hajj, Ahmad ibn Hanbal lost his way. As he continued working, he saw an old villager with white hair and beard. He went to him and said that he was lost, and asked which way to go. The villager replied in a strong voice, "Oh, Ahmad, who do you think you are that you go to? Allah's by Tula. If Allah is not pleased with you going there, of course you will lost your way." Hearing this unexpected answer, Ahmad ibn Hanbal said, with astonishment, "O my Lord, you have such servants hidden in corners and out of sight of people." The man then said, "What do you think, Ahmad? Allah has such servants that if they asked Allah, all the heavens and earth would turn into gold for their sake." At that moment, the earth and the mountains suddenly turned into gold. Ahmad ibn Hanbal fainted and fell to the ground. Later the man lifted him up and showed him the way. Ahmad continued on his path in awe of what he had just experienced. Ahmad ibn Hanbal and Caliph Muhammad, a very interesting destiny would reap. Just like Abu Hanif and Imam Shafi, the life of Ahmad ibn Hanbal also passed with torture and imprisonment by the Islamic State. These men were not understood in their time. They were far ahead of their age. Only those who came later would truly understand them. These hardships and harsh lives would raise them not only in knowledge, but also in spiritual rank. Towards the end of Kif Mamon's reign, the influence of the madhhab grew stronger. Under this influence, the Caliph called on the famous scholars of the time to accept the view that the Qur'an was meek. At first, some scholars said that the Qur'an was not created, but when they were threatened with torture, they gave the answers the Caliph wanted in order not to suffer. Ahmad ibn Hanbal, however, without fear of anything or anyone, said that the Qur'an was the speech of Allah and not a created thing. For this the caliph had Ahmad ibn Hanbal imprisoned together with other scholars who opposed him. His close ones advised him to act as if he agreed with the caliph, just to be freed from the oppression. But Ahmad ibn Hanbal refused, saying it did not suit him as an Islamic scholar, and he was upset with those who gave him this advice. The governor of Baghdad chained Ahmad ibn Hanbal and Muhammad bin Nuh and set out to take them to meet Caliph Ma'mun. But when they reached Raqqa, a soldier riding fast on a black horse appeared from behind a hill and brought the news that the caliph had died. The soldiers were filled with sadness, but Ahmad ibn Hanbal did not change his calm and firm stance. After waiting there for a while, they returned to Baghdad, but Muhammad bin Nuh, who was younger than him, couldn't endure the hardship and died on the way. Ahmad bin Hanbal was brought back to Baghdad and imprisoned. The new Caliph Mutasim insisted on following his brother's policy and kept Ahmad bin Hanbal in prison. When Ahmad bin Hanbal was first brought to prison, Abu al-Haytham and the others who were already there did not recognize who he was. In prison, Ahmad bin Hanbal spoke very little. He ate just a few bites, prayed continuously, and gave advice to the prisoners. The prisoners were deeply impressed by his words and began to think he was a great teacher. Abu Alam went to him several times and asked, "Oh, Imam, what is the reason you are here? Did you steal? Did you kill someone? Or did you sell defective goods like greedy merchants?" But he got no answer. When Ahmad bin Hanbal still did not respond, Abu al-Haytham finally lost his patience and shouted, "Then why are you here?" Still, there was no answer. Minutes passed and then Imam Hanbal turned slightly to Abu al-Haytham and said, "I read the Qur'an just as every servant of Allah should." Abu al-Haytham did not understand and asked again, "Why would they put you in prison just for reading the Qur'an?" Ahmad bin Hanbal turned to him again and said, "Sometimes the mind understands what the tongue recites, but the heart does not find peace. They treat the Qur'an, the speech of Allah, as if it were just a creation. Then, like a thief, they try to steal its holiness. Like a killer, they try to destroy its truth. And finally, like a greedy merchant, they treat to sell their faulty idea to Muslims." Abu al-Haytham looked at the Imam in shock after this answer, unable to understand anything. Ahmad bin Hanbal sighed and said quietly, as if hoping he might understand someday, "When such a reader gains influence by the side of the ruler and sets up a market of fitna, he throws anyone who does not buy his faulty idea into prison." Then the doors of the prison opened. A few guards came to take him. They came in and chained his hands and feet. Imam Hanbal said goodbye to the other prisoners, and then it was Abu al-Haytham. At that moment, something broke inside Abu al-Haytham, and he threw himself in front of Ahmad bin Hanbal. "O Imam, a stubborn thief, I was caught many times and whipped 18,000 times, but I did not give up stealing. And you, Ahmad bin Hanbal, you are the Imam of this city. If you know the truth, never turn away from it. I was patient on the path of Shaitan, so you be patient on the path of Allah." Imam Hbl listened it carefully to Abu al-Haytham, but before he could reply, the guards took him away. Years later, Ahmad bin Hanbal said about Abu al-Haytham, "May Allah have mercy on Abu al-Haytham and forgive him. His words and advice kept me standing during the tortures of the caliph against Imam Hanbal. After keeping Ahmad bin Hanbal in prison for a year, the caliph brought him to his court and ordered the chief judge and other scholars who obeyed him to try to convince Imam Hanbal. But Ahmad bin Hanbal, with his deep knowledge and sharp mind, refuted what they said and did no text any evidence other than verses and hadith. When the caliph realized he would not change his mind, he ordered Ahmad bin Hanbal to be tortured. Even though he groaned under the heavy blows of the whip, Imam Hanbal did not even break his fast. The caliph told him he would be freed if he said that the Quran was created. Imam Hanbal did not even respond to this offer and simply recited Shahada. When the caliph saw that theater had no effect, he considered releasing him, but the chief judge persuaded the caliph, saying that because he did not accept the Quran as created, Ahmad bin Hanbal had left the religion and should not be freed. Then the caliph ordered his executioners to whip him or under the burning sun, and he himself came to watch the torture. Imam Hanbal against the new caliph. After 2 years and 4 months of prison and torture, Ahmad bin Hanbal was finally released. As soon as his heavy wounds healed, he began teaching his students again. The caliph who tortured Imam Hanbal, Multum, later died of abscess, and his son Vasik, whose real name was Harun, became Kaif, followed his father's path and immediately started teaching in their schools that the Qur'an was created. Angry at these actions, and now thinking about rebelling against the government, the people who had deep respect and love for Ahmad ibn Hanbal as an Islamic scholar came to him for advice. Ahmad ibn Hanbal told them that rebellion was not the right thing to do.